Hey kids, it's me, Teacher A. In this video, we're going to study how to get the probability of intersection of two events. Okay, let's start. To start our discussion, let us differentiate independent events from dependent events. Okay, so independent events, you say two events are independent if the outcome of one event does not affect the outcome of the other event. Let me give you some examples of independent events. Getting ahead when you toss a coin once, and getting a 6 when you roll a die once. Okay, those two events are independent. Another example, okay, eating vegetables and taking a bath. Okay, those two events are independent. To better understand independent events, it's nice to define two events which are dependent here. Okay, so two events are said to be dependent if the outcome of one event affects the outcome of the other event. This time, the probability of the second event is affected by the occurrence of the first event. Some examples of dependent events, okay? Eating a balanced meal and being healthy, okay? So those are dependent events. Another example, okay? Depositing certain amounts in a bank and earning interests. Yeah? Kapag nag-deposit kayo ng malaking amount, malaki din yung earning nyo na interest. Okay? So those are dependent events. Okay? Now, if you're given word problems and then you were asked to identify kung independent ba or dependent yung problem or yung mga events in the problem, ito yung mga keywords. Two events are independent kapag nakita nyo ang mga keywords na ito. With replacement, replaced, put back, returned. Ibig sabihin niyan, ibinalik. Now, two events are dependent if you see these keywords. Okay? Without replacement, not replaced. Without putting back, not returned, hindi ibinalik. Alright? Let me give you two examples here. If you read the problem, pareho silang box na merong 14 red balls, 10 blue balls, and 6 yellow balls. Okay? Pareho din na dalawang ball ang kukunin. But here, in our first problem, a ball is drawn at random and the colors noted and then put back inside the box. Okay? Then another ball is drawn at random. Okay? Pero dito sa second problem natin, suppose that two balls are drawn one after the other. Okay? Magkasunod binunot. Okay? Magkasunod kinuha. Okay? Without putting back the first ball. Okay? And then we were asked to find the probability that both balls are blue. Okay? So pareho. Pareho ang pinapahanap na probability, magkaiba lang yung pagkuha ng dalawang balls. Okay? So it's like probability of getting a blue ball in the first draw, okay? And a blue ball again in the second draw. Okay? So how do we get the probability of A and B? Okay? So this time we get the probability of intersection of two events. So if we have independent events, to get the probability of A intersection B, all you have to do is to multiply or to get the product of the probability of A and the probability of B. Okay? Now, for dependent events, ganun din naman. I-multiply nyo rin yung probabilities. Pero, yung probability ng second event natin, ni event B, okay, magbabago because it is being affected by the first event, which is the event A. Okay? So, this is how you get the probability of A intersection B, where A and B are dependent events. This is equal to the probability of A times the probability of B given that A has occurred. Okay? So para mas makita ninyo kung paano ginagamit ang mga formulas na ito, let's go back to our two previous examples. Here. Okay, let's start with this first example. Okay, what are the two independent events here? Yun nga, getting a blue ball in the first draw, okay, and getting a blue ball in the second draw. Okay, yun yung ating two independent events. Okay, independent because we have this keyword, put back. How do we get the probability that both balls are blue? Ganito. So we get the probability of B sub 1 intersection with B sub 2. So B sub 1 is the event of getting a blue ball in the first draw. B sub 2, this is the event of getting a blue ball in the second draw. Okay? Since these two events are independent, okay, the probability of their intersection is simply equal to the product of their probabilities. Sige nga, what is the probability of getting a blue ball, okay, during the first draw? So all you have to do is to count the number of blue balls. Ilan ba ang blue balls? 10, right? Divided by the total number of balls. Ilan ba yon? 14 plus 10, 24 plus 6, 30. So you have 10 over 30 as the probability of B sub 1. Now, what is the probability of B sub 2? This is the probability of getting a blue ball during the second draw. Okay? So again, ilan ang blue balls? 10 pa rin. Okay, bakit? Kasi binalik naman yung first blue ball. So ibig sabihin, kapag binalik yung first blue ball, 10 blue balls pa rin yung nasa box. So ibig sabihin, meron pa rin 10 na pagpipilian. Out of how many balls? Ilan yung total number of balls? 30. So that's why we have this. If you simplify, you'll have this one. Okay, tinanggal ko lang yung zeros. Okay, so I have 1/3 times 1/3. So we will get 1 over 9. Okay? Ngayon, para mas maging clear sa inyo ang pagkakaiba ng independent events and dependent events, let's answer this problem. This time, the first blue ball is not replaced. Ibig sabihin, hindi ibinalik. Okay? So, we get the probability of B1 intersection B2. Again, why B1 and B2 are two dependent events in this problem? Una, because we have these keywords, okay, without putting back. Okay? And then, maapektuhan yung probability ng second blue ball. Kasi hindi nga sinole yung first blue ball. Alright? So this is how we get the probability. Okay? The probability of B sub 1 intersection with B sub 2 is equal to the probability of B sub 1 times the probability of B sub 2 given that, okay, B sub 1 has occurred. Okay? So madali lang to kapag natutunan nyo. So again, what is the probability of getting a blue ball? It's 10 over 30. Right? Kapareho lang nandito. Okay? Now, itong probability of B sub 2, given that B sub 1 has occurred, ibig sabihin ito, anong probability na blue ball pa rin yung second draw, given that yung first draw ay blue at hindi siya sinole. Okay? So, since hindi sinole yung first blue ball, ilang blue balls na lang ang nasa box? Hindi na 10, right? It becomes 9. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, you have 9 blue balls to choose from. Out of, what is the total number of balls? 30 pa rin ba? Kagaya nito. 30 pa rin ba? Hindi na rin. Kasi kinuha na yung isa eh, hindi na binalik. And if you add this, 14 plus 9 plus 6, you will get 29. Ibig sabihin, the probability of getting a blue ball in the second draw is 9 over 29. So that's why we have this. Okay? So doing the math, what do you get? Here, kinancel ko muna yung zeros dito. So that's why I have 1/3. And then we simplify further. Nakita niyo itong 3 at saka 9. Okay, pwede silang mag-cancel. Itong 3 mo, wala na to. Itong 9 magiging 3. So you will get 3 over 29. Okay, so let's have more examples. Try naman natin ito. Okay, same pa rin naman. You have a box, okay, that contains 14 red balls, 10 blue balls, and 6 yellow balls. Okay, but this time, we find the probability that the first ball is red and the second ball is yellow. So why these two events are independent? Because may keywords tayo dito. Ayan o, put back. Okay? So we can easily get the probability of R intersection Y. So I used R and Y. R for red, Y for yellow. Okay? So since these two events are independent, this is just equal to the product of their probabilities. What is the probability of getting a red ball? So it's 14 over 30, right? What is the probability of getting a yellow ball? 6 over 30 pa rin. Kasi binalik naman yung bola. Okay? So that's why we have this. Okay? If you simplify, you're going to have 7 over 75. All right? Okay. What about this one? Okay, again, dependent events, yung getting a red and getting a yellow, kasi meron tayong keywords na ito, without putting back. Okay? Sige nga. How do we get the probability? Okay, so the probability of getting a red ball, okay, is equal to 14 over 30 pa rin. Yeah? Okay. But what about the probability of getting a yellow, given that the first ball is red and it is not replaced? Hindi siya binalik. Okay? So, all you have to do is to count the number of yellow balls. Ilan ba ang yellow balls? 6. Okay? Over the total number of balls in the box. Ilan ba yung balls na nasa box? It's now 29. Kasi hindi na binalik yung first ball na red. Alright? So that's why we have this. Okay? So simplifying, you will get 14 over 145. Okay, let's have more examples here. Okay, this is the first problem. Okay? A rental agency has 12 white cars, 8 gray cars, 6 red cars, and 3 green cars for rent. A man rents a car, returns it because the radio is broken, and gets another car. What is the probability that the man is given a green car, then a gray car? What are the two events here? Okay, getting a green car and getting a gray car. Okay, those are the two events. Now, are these two events dependent or independent? So you look for keywords. Okay? Nakita niyo yan? Returns it. So kapag ibinalik, independent ang mga events. Okay? Ayan o. So basically, all you have to do is to look for keywords. Okay? So you'll have this. Okay? The probability of getting a green car, so I used N, okay? And getting a gray car after the green car, okay, is equal to 3 over 29. Ilan ba ang green cars? 3. Okay? And then over 29 because we have 29 cars in all. 12 plus 8, you get 20. 20 plus 6, you have 26. Plus 3, you have 29 cars in all. So that's why we have 3 over 29. And how many gray cars do we have here? We have 8. So that's why we have 8 over 29. Okay, if you multiply 3 times 8, you get 24. 29 times 29, you get 841. Okay, so this is the probability of getting a green car first, then a gray car. Okay, so let's move on to the second example. Okay, if you read, okay, you have a box of chocolates. Okay, the question is, what is the probability that Allison chose a milk chocolate first and then a white chocolate? Okay, now, you have to determine whether these two events are independent or dependent. So, asan yung keywords? Do you see? Eto. Okay? Allison eats the first chocolate. So, pag kinain niya na, impossible nang maibalik. Right? So, hindi na maibabalik yon. So, definitely, the given two events here are dependent events. Yan. Okay? Ito yung dalawang event na yan. Getting a milk chocolate, then getting a white chocolate. So, since we have dependent events here, we have this probability. The probability of getting a milk chocolate, then a white chocolate is equal to, this is the probability of getting a milk chocolate. Why? Because we have 10 milk chocolates. Ito, oh. Okay? And 24 chocolates in all. Yeah? 10 plus 8 plus 6 equals 24. Okay, what about this one? This is the probability of getting a white chocolate. Okay, so we have 6 white chocolates here. So that's why our numerator is 6. Okay, bakit ang denominator natin 23 na lang? Okay, hindi na 24. Kasi nga, kinain ni Allison yung unang chocolate na nakuha niya. So, hindi niya na binalik yun. So, that's why, from 24, nabawasan ng isa, so we have 23 na lamang. So, this is the probability of getting a white chocolate. Okay? So, 6 over 23. Doing the math, okay, simplifying, you will get 5 over 46. Let's have more. Okay, ito. If you read the problem, you have a toy box. Okay, merong 12 toys, 8 stuffed toys, and 3 board games. What is the probability of choosing 2 stuffed toys as the first 2 choices? Sometimes, there are problems na walang keywords. Okay? So, kagaya ng problem na ito, wala tayong keywords na put back, without replacement. Okay? Walang ganon. Okay? Pero, ang ibig sabihin kasi nitong choosing 2 stuffed animals as the first 2 choices, sabay niya kinuha yung dalawang stuffed animals. Okay, kung hindi man sabay, magkasunod niyang kinuha. Okay, so impossible, hindi posible na may replacement na nangyari. Okay, hindi posible na ibinalik niya muna yung unang toy saka kumuha ng second toy. Okay, kasi malamang sabay niya kinuha yung 2 stuffed animals na ito. Okay, so that's why we have dependent events here. Ito yung dalawang events natin. The first toy is a stuffed animal and the second toy is another stuffed animal without replacement. Okay, so here, how do we get the probability of intersection of 2 dependent events? Ganito. Okay, so the probability of getting a stuffed animal during the first draw and another stuffed animal during the second draw or second pick. Okay? So, una, ilan ba ang stuffed animals? 8. Okay? Ano? Out of ilan yung toys inside the toy box? You have 12 plus 8 plus 3. So, you have 23 in all. So that's why 23 in the denominator. Now, we get the probability of getting the second stuffed animal. Okay? But without returning the first stuffed animal that you pick. So that's why the total number of stuffed animals inside the box is now 7. Kasi from 8, nabawasan ng isa, right? Okay, so that's why we have 7. Tapos 22 na lang ang nasa ilalim because 23 kanina, binawasan ng isa, 22. So that's why we have 7 over 22. Okay? You multiply and then you get the lowest term, you will get 28 over 253. What about this problem? Okay? Madali lang kasi may keywords. Nasaan yung mga keywords? Yan, replacing it. Ibig sabihin, ibinalik. Kapag ibinalik, okay, yung mga events ay independent. Okay? But this number, this problem has 3 events. Where are the 3 events? Okay, the first event is choosing a red jelly bean. Okay, what is the second event? Choosing another red jelly bean. Okay, what is the third event? Choosing an orange jelly bean. So we get this probability. Okay, probability of R sub 1. So this is getting a red jelly bean first, and then another red jelly bean, and then an orange jelly bean. This is the probability of choosing a red jelly bean. This is the probability of choosing another red jelly bean. And this is the probability of picking an orange jelly bean. Now, if you multiply and simplify, you will get 125 over 5,488. Again, make sure that you write your final answer in its simplest form. Let's have this last example. Okay, so for this particular example, I will give a complete solution. Para may guide kayo kung gusto nyong isulat ang complete solution dun sa mga previous examples natin kanina. For this example, we have a basket that contains 6 apples, 5 bananas, 4 oranges, and 5 guavas. What is the probability of choosing a banana and then an apple? Okay, so as you can see, wala na namang keywords. Okay, pero according sa pagka-state sa problem, magkasunod pinik or chinuse yung fruits. Kapag ganon, magkasunod, okay, magkasunod yung events, okay, you conclude that these 2 events are dependent. Okay, they are dependent events. Okay, so let's compute. Let's compute the probability of choosing a banana and then an apple. Okay, this is the complete solution. Let n of f be the total number of fruits. Okay, so n of f is equal to 20. You add all the fruits here. 6 plus 5, 11 plus 4, 15 plus 5, 20. Okay, so you have 20 fruits in all. All right, next. Let B be the event of choosing a banana. Okay, so what is n of B? Ilan ba ang bananas? 5. So that's why we have this. Okay, n of B is equal to 5. And what is the probability of getting a banana? It's 5 over 20. Okay, okay lang na hindi pa naka-lowest term because hindi pa naman ito ang final answer ninyo. What is our second event? Here, we let A be the event of choosing an apple without replacing the banana. Ibig sabihin, hindi natin ibinalik yung banana. Okay? A for apple ha, B for banana. Okay, sige nga, what is n of A? So, ilan ang apples? 6. Okay? What is the probability of getting A given that B has occurred? Ibig sabihin, na-pick na yung banana and it is not replaced. So, that's 6 over 19 because we have 19 fruits left inside the basket. So we have this. Okay, n of A is equal to 6 because we have 6 apples and the probability of A given that B has occurred is equal to 6 over 19. Now, to finally answer this question, what is the probability of choosing a banana and then an apple? Okay, we have this. Okay? Ito yung formula natin if we have dependent events. And then we just substitute the values here. Okay? We have 5 over 20 times 6 over 19. If you simplify, okay, you will get 3 over 38. This is our final answer. Okay, I think that's it. I hope you learned something from this video. Please don't forget to like this video, share this video to your friends, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you for watching. See you in my next video.